Hey, welcome back to RL Design Innovation. It's been a little bit, but that was the summer, vacationing, barbecues, a lot of fun events going on. Today, we have a nice little project, what we're gonna be doing. You may have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, your friends may have children. Today, we're gonna take drawings from children, such as something like this, or something like this, as well as a picture like this. And what are we gonna do with these? I'm gonna show you how to take these pictures, put them in your laser using the camera solution and Lightburn, how we can engrave those pictures, cut them out, and you can make magnets. You can also, what we're going to do today is besides cut them out, we're going to make a coaster one of those images. Let's get over to the workstation. Let's have some fun. Okay, so we are in Lightburn. I brought up Lightburn 2.03 and I placed this first image onto the bed. Right now I'm gonna then update the overlay. Now we're gonna click trace. What do we wanna do? We wanna first adjust this. Click sketch, and you can see it gets everything in here pretty good. I'm gonna draw a box just around this. So that's the only thing we bring in. I'm going to say okay. Now I'm going to move this out of the way. And here is our image. Okay, so we have that moved over here. What I'm going to do is not show the bed. So you can play with this for a little while. And I think this image we're actually going to put onto a coaster. So I'm going to put this image right here. For this trace, I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to edit it. I want to show you just raw, and then I'll show you later on when we cut it. So I'm going to make this a fill. See, there's the image that we just took off the paper. Image I'm going to do on a coaster, so I want to put some text in here. And to me, it looks like the child was trying to draw maybe like a turkey man. So I'm going to write in here, Happy Thanksgiving. I know we're a little early. We didn't even get to Halloween, but let's do this. I'm going to put this. I'm going to size this a little bit. And once we put the coaster in, we can play with it, but let's pick a font. I like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the coaster in. We'll get this prepared for engraving. Okay, so I put the coaster in. You're going to say, how do I know what speed and power to use? I did a while ago. I did one of these on the coaster. It's basically a matrix, power, speed matrix, so that you can determine what speed or power to use. And then what I did is I then chose the one I wanted, and I created my materials list over here for etching. I created a power of 64 and a speed of 400, and it seems to work well. So let's do this. Let's show the bed. But let's update the overlay. Now you can see this is going to be a little too big for that coaster, so I'm going to highlight everything. And I'm going to move this over here. And think about this. This could be a great Father's Day gift, Mother's Day gift, grandpa, grandma, aunt, uncle, whichever. You can do whatever you like. So I'm going to go here, and then the first thing we have to do, of course, is focus the laser. All right, I'm just focusing. Okay, so now I'm gonna engrave this. Okay, so we are back. This is finished. Let me take the coaster out and let's see what it looks like. There you go. Now, what do we do next? I'm gonna put a thin coat of matte finish, clear coat on this. That way it protects it. Now, I received a question from somebody. They say that they have a lot of templates using the Xtool software, XCS, but they don't want to lose those templates, but they like designing in here and creating things. What do? You have a couple options. One option, which is the easiest, is I go over here to File, I go to Export, and basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be exporting this as an SVG file. So I'm going to say test for now. I'm going to exit out. Let me show you what happens. Let me exit out of Lightburn. I can discard that. Okay, I brought up the Xtool software. Now what I'm gonna do, let me bring this up, and I'm gonna bring this test in, bring it over here. There is what we did in Lightburn. So you can design in Lightburn, you can capture using your camera system, trace it, edit it, do whatever you like, and then using that export feature, export it out, and then bring it into the XCS software suites. This way, you can still use your own templates, you can do what you wanted to do in the past, and you don't have to redo all that templates or everything you've done. So it saves a lot of time, and again, the great thing is you're using the functionality of Lightburn and the camera solution. Let's go on now and let's do a magnet, but I'm going to show you how using the trace function where we cut things out. So let's go back into Lightburn. Okay, so I brought up Lightburn. I'm going to take this image here. I'm going to put it onto the bed. Okay, I put the new image in here. I'm going to update the overlay. So that's it. Now we have to decide, what do we want to trace or cut out after? And if you notice the image is a little crooked, don't worry about that. We'll fix it after we bring it in. So I'm going to hit trace. Just like here, I'm going to go like this. And I think I want the sun in there. I want this a little wider. And we'll clean up this other stuff after. That's good. We hit OK. There's our image. Let's not show the bed, and let's work on this image. If you notice, there's things in here we want to delete. How do we clean this up? You hit right click, ungroup. We're going to zoom in. We're going to select these. And again, by ungrouping, meaning we break everything up into its nodes. That's what allows us to select these images and clean them up. Now we may look at this and say, you know what? I love how the cloud was drawn here, but it's too low. Let's move it. You see how I selected the whole thing? I moved it. Now you say, you know what? That sun is just too low. I want to move it over here, right about there. We could move even the hearts if we wanted to. Or here's another thing. Say we selected this heart. You want to duplicate it. Control C, Control V. There it is. You could take your child's drawing and enhance it. Look how beautiful that is. Now I'm going to put a piece of wood in, and we're going to engrave this and then cut it out. And this is what you would make a magnet out of. Okay, so I put a piece of wood in here. Let me update the overlay. Wood is a little small, so I'm going to shrink this a little bit. So we don't need such a huge magnet per se. I'm going to move it over here. A little smaller, and I'm going to make this a different layer. I'm going to put this, say, the red layer. Actually, let's do the blue layer. We're going to do this as a fill so you can see it. Now we're going to do a black layer. Click black. We're going to do a pencil, and that's going to be what we're going to cut out. So you can do whatever you like, whatever shape you like. Do it however you fancy, and we can adjust this after as well once we draw this. Do right about here, right about here, go here, but that black is going to be a line. There you go. So you can do whatever you want. Say you say, you know what, I don't like this shape over here, I don't like this hard point. I'm going to zoom in, I'm going to go right here and right there. I just wanted to pull it up a little bit. And if you wanted to readjust, so first thing we do is highlight the line. Then we're going to go over here to the node tool to edit nodes. Now we zoom in, and you can change this. You could say, I want it like this. I want this like this. I don't want this so hard like this. Now we're going to do this on 3mm wood. We're going to make a magnet out of this. So I'm going to go to my bass over here. This is 3mm. And I want for the black line, which is the cut, we're going to assign that. Now for the blue, which is an engrave or an etch. I mean, let's do an engrave. Make it a little deeper and a little darker. Okay, you can see speed 200, 300. We want the fill, we want the blue first, then the cut. First thing we have to do first is focus the laser. And then once we focus, we'll cut it out, engrave it. Okay, we finished the projects. This is the coaster. How it came out, I put a clear coat on that of matte finish. And this is gonna be the magnet. As you can see, came out really, really nice. Again, we're taking art that your children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces created, and then using the camera system, we're tracing it, editing it with Lightburn. I show you how to save it if you still want to use XCS because you have old templates, you don't want to create them, whichever. And then all we did was turn them, cut them out, and put them onto a coaster. I hope you learned something today. Again, I love the trace functionality of Lightburn. You can do so much with it. You can scan things, edit them, manipulate them, do whatever you like. I hope you learned something new today. You had some fun while watching. Subscribe, thumbs up, and keep sending me those ideas of things you want to learn about. Till next time.